Okay.
35, 36, 38, 39.
40. Okay, we're locked. And speeding.
And anytime already.
Nicholas, John, Adam, welcome to Dallas.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to have you here. I really appreciate your coming in to talk about Windtalkers because I think this is an extraordinary film. Everything about it.
Thank
Wonderful performances, great direction. It's just an excellent film. 4 stars. Okay, let's start with you, Nicholas.
Okay.
You are in this film, which is primarily a World War II story set in the Pacific Theater of War. And as one might expect, there would be a lot of battle scenes. And particularly with the John Woo movie, lots of explosions.
Yeah.
Now, when you're actually filming these scenes, and I understand that the first shot took something like 280 explosions, when you're actually out there doing it, what is it like? It would appear to me to be very scary.
Yeah, it actually, you don't have to act, you know, it just sort of does it for you, where you know that if you're not careful you could get hurt. I mean, I can't pretend like I know what it would really be like for a Marine in Saipan battling with real bullets flying by, because that's a whole other level. But actors like to use their imagination to get to the honesty of the moment in the scene, and having real bombs there, of course, helps. You know, you don't have to be a method actor to feel that.
But is it ever to the point where before the scene starts, where you're just really, you feel your heart pumping and you're really...
Well, you know, we would rehearse it all day long, and a lot of John's shots would go without cuts, you know, so you'd have bombs going off and squib hits, and you'd have to be careful where you aim the gun so nobody got stuck in their eye or a load went off in their face from the blank. But what it does is you have to just concentrate, you know, and focus and make sure you don't mess up, because if you do, then we have to go all the way back to the beginning and do the shot all over again, and that takes a lot of reset time and a lot of money, because the effects aren't cheap. So all the actors felt very responsible and were very careful to make sure they what we call hit our marks.
The being in a John Woo film, of course, is a very prestigious thing.
Yeah.
But do you work harder when you're doing a John Woo film?
Well, I love John Woo, so I'm always going to work really hard when I work with John, because I want to make him happy. You know, we're friends, and he's really helped me, I think, grow as an actor, because he's not afraid of going places that are new. You know, he has so much style and integrity in his art. And style is a really good word, because he doesn't just limit himself to naturalism. Although Windtalkers to me is a very, very real, very honest film, almost, and he'll call it documentary style in the filmmaking. When I did Face Off, it almost was like opera, you know. And for an actor, that's a wonderful thing, to be able to hit different notes, because I never want to get calcified in one particular type of style.
John, let's talk with you a little bit as the director of Windtalkers. You used an extraordinary amount of ammunition in this movie. Is it the most you've ever used in any film?
Yeah, we had used a lot of gasoline, dynamite. Yes, you know what? I'll never count. You know, since I try to create a scene which is look real and stunning, and I try to show the horror of war. So that's why we had used a lot of explosion, script hits, you know, and gunfire. You know, try to get the real feelings, and try to make the audience more involved. You know, more involved with the character and the battles. You know, so fortunately, we have a lot of the great stuntmen and great actors and the Marines, you know. And we also have the the military advisor helping us to make everything look so real and right. You know. So, well, this movie was not only about action. So, the most important thing is it's all about friendship and brotherhood. You know, just like a Marine, just like a true spirit of the Marine. You know. So then, I must say that I had a great time working on this film.
You had more than twice as many stunt people as you did cast.
Yeah. We had about 200 stuntmen.
Well, I think the exact number is 103 stunt players and 43 cast, according to the list of credits.
Yeah, I mean, besides stuntmen, we also have a lot of ex-Marine, you know, to doing the battle scenes. So it's a large number.
You actually had the logistics almost of a World War II commander, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, on the sets, they call me General Wu.
Still do.
But you know, I always wanted to make a war movie. You know, I really admire all those people who give their heart and even give their life for the country. You know, I always wanted to make a movie to glorify them. You know, and especially Windtalkers, we really saw the true spirit of the Marine, and the Cold Talkers. You know, so I think there's a lot of people had a great contribution for the country. Just not much people know about them. You know, so I'm so glad to make this movie and to let the people know how great they are. You know, how so and also shows our appreciation. Yeah.
Adam, let's get you into this conversation here. You're a Native American. You're from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
What is your tribe?
I'm a Soto Indian from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Yes. So you're not a Navajo, but you're playing one of these code talkers, and we will explain in the setting up the story that what we mean by the code talkers. You were the people, or you're playing the people who were used to set up codes and decipher codes, so that the enemy wouldn't know your whereabouts and so forth. But in this film, you had to speak some Navajo, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Was that difficult for you to learn?
Yes, it's the Navajo language is a very difficult language. It has this rhythm that is hard to catch. They use a lot of the throat, nasal, and this clicking of the tongue. And the rhythm is a very slow rhythm. They have this long drawl. But I think I pulled it off pretty good. I had Roger Woolley, the other actor, who was helping me on the set, and Albert Smith, who was a code talker, helping me out.
Had you ever made this kind of film before? I know you've made other films, but this kind of action film before?
No, I don't think I'll be seeing any of this type of style action in I don't think I'll ever do something like this again, because it's a John Woo epic, and working with Nicolas Cage, that's an honor. Thanks very much.
He's very humble.
They both are humble.
Adam, did you have any idea what you were getting into when you started the film?
No, I thought I would be coming on just as an actor working on a film. But when we started, John threw us in a 5-day boot camp that had us in the jungle, sleeping overnight, and in the evening shooting at so-called ghosts, thinking they were actual Japanese, freaking out, thinking, I'm glad this is not really happening. And walking onto a John Woo set, you're in awe, because he takes a valley and makes this realistic view of what war is about. So you have 200 bombs set up, 700 men or how many they had out there, and all you hear is action, and it's this recreation of World War II.
What's the scariest day you had on the set?
My scariest day is watching this man here transform into this crazy kind of psychotic war machine. So I'm like, hey, how you doing, Nick? Are you ready? And he's like, yeah, action. And I had to follow him through the film doing that, so it was kind of...
I had nothing to do with it.
You mean you deny that you did that?
Yeah, sometimes when I act, I don't really know what happens. I try to see myself as like a channeler, so I let whatever spirit wants to enter my body do the work for me, basically. And you can gather those things together. You can get a little dog hair or rabbit fur and put it in your boot or something, and then give it as a gift to the spirits, and they come in and they do the work for you.
There's a day where I had a conversation with Nick, and I looked over and he was still staring straight out into the battlefield. He didn't hear me. And I was like, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna get out of here. But it just shows how much focus he has about what he's doing.
Well, it all paid off in the end, because you all have a film you can be very proud of, and a film that is based on truth, and a film that should enlighten a lot of people.
Thank you.
Thousand applause for John.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was good, thanks.
Well, it's nice to see you again, Bob.
Good to see you.
Yes,
All right.
John, very
Thank you,
good to see
Bye.
you. Adam, all the best to you.
What?
Thank you.
Aaron?
Yeah.